Hey guys, this is Hawkeye and I am back with another episode of Ice Lakes. And this time guys, I'm going to do something a little bit different here. Now prior to this we were focusing a lot more on carp and basically fishing competitions, and that's what I've been doing a lot of lately. But there are a lot more accessible here than I found anywhere else, to be honest. Now that happens to be the smallmouth bass and the black bullheads, and honestly I don't think people pay enough attention to these fish, to be honest. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to go into a couple of these lakes and we're going to do some free fishing, because there aren't any competitions that you can really do with the black bullheads. I really wish that they had a competition just for the catfish, but that may come in the future, and I'm sure it will. I mean, there's updates being made all the time. But I did want to show you some of the locations that I have found these in high quantities, just so you go in and fish around and catch something different other than just carp. Anyway, let me go ahead and take a look here at Dragon Mountain, including largemouth bass as well. But you got your black bullheads. You've seen the sturgeon that I caught in the last episode, largemouth and smallmouth, and of course the common carp species here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in here and I'm going to show you some of the best spots to catch these guys. Well, first we'll check out Dragon Mountains. I hope this isn't going to go too long, because you get caught up in it and it is a lot of fun. So I will tell you honestly, I love fishing for these guys more than anything else. Alright, we're going to go ahead and set this for morning in the winter. And we're going to head on to Dragon Mountains. Like I said, we're just... Alright, we are here of bullheads and smallmouth bass. Now if you come down this lower lake, that's another nice thing about the free fishing. You actually get a chance to take in some of the ambiance of this place, and I really like it. I mean, it's just, I especially like how they did this for the holidays. But one of the locations that I have been catching a lot of bullheads has been right over here. I don't know if you see this little place where the grass is. Now if you look at your map, you're going to kind of notice that this is not super shallow, but it's about medium depth, and that seems to be the best depth for your black bullheads and your smallmouth bass as well. Alright, now what I'm using here guys, it's called a Dotsie lure, and it is very popular with the smallmouth. Oops, I'm looking at the wrong one. There it is. It's called the Dotsie, and it's, even though it says best for brook trout, it is also good for smallmouth bass, and honestly the bullheads will go for it too. There doesn't seem to be any particular lure that the bullheads don't go for. They're pretty, you know, they're pretty liberal, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But there are some other things that you can use to go for these guys. I'm trying to remember. I think it's the autumn leaves. No? I think maybe it's Carrot Parade. I have a hard time. Yeah, Carrot Parade is very popular with the black bullhead. And there are a few others that are popular for the smallmouth as well. You just gotta look through it, figure out which ones go for. It's not that, but we'll see what we can do with this one I've got here. I know they've gone for it. We're going to throw in a little bait here. I don't know if you noticed my new rod here. This is, I think it's called the Mountain King rod. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Shiny. Yeah, it's a heavy rod, so these fish aren't nearly as big, so we're going to have to really look for subtle attacks. I'd switch over to my medium rod, but the only problem I have with doing that is there could still be common carp over here and big ones, so I just don't want to break my line. Alright, there we go. This is probably a black bullhead. Yep, there we go. Right where I said they'd be. Yeah, my goal is to eventually catch a leaderboard black bullhead, and I think they have to be at least 12 pounds. That's pretty good sized black bullhead. I would say the average weight is usually about 1.5 pounds. Seems like I got a lot of activity outside my place today for some reason. But yeah, I have fished other locations for black bullheads and smallmouth and not nearly have received as many bites for these guys as I have here. So if you like fishing for them, this is the place to come, guys. There we go. Alright, we are going to pull stakes here, and I'm going to go over and show you a good spot for catching the smallmouth. I don't know if I can walk up on that. Yeah, I can. Now the smallmouth spots, one of which is right over here next to this waterfall. Alright, I shouldn't have too much of a problem with the carp here, so I honestly might go ahead and switch. Yeah, I think I'm going to. Let's switch over to my medium rod just so that I can have something a little more sensitive. As you can notice, I have a lot of heavy rods. I think we're going to do a little bit better if we have a little more sensitivity. Well, we didn't need a lot of sensitivity for that, did we? And you're going to get better fight, which is always good. Wow, I'm impressed. It's a little bit bigger of a bullhead. I haven't caught as many of the bullheads over here, so that was interesting. I will tell you, these smallmouth bass are kind of a rare fish in these waters. Actually, in all of the lakes, they're kind of rare. You have to really work hard to find them. And you might have to catch other fish species while you're catching them. I'm thinking we might have another black bullhead here, guys. Yep. Which there's nothing wrong with that, but I want to try to find that so you can see the smallmouth. So what we'll go where I was having some luck with them, and that's right here at the base of this bridge. Yeah, they like weedy areas, but usually where you find smallmouth, you will also find black bullheads. So that's always going to be a possibility. Kind of unavoidable. Just keep trying until you find a spot that you like. And remember that the fish do move, especially depending on the time of year. But I don't think we have a black bullhead this time. I think this time we got what we're after. If it is a black bullhead, he's small. There you go. There he is. Now he's not huge, but he is a smallmouth. Now, one thing I would try to do, I would try different times of day and different seasons in those areas I just showed you, because at night, especially if you do night fishing, I bet the black bullheads are going to come a lot bigger. I haven't tested it yet, but I am going to. And if it turns out the way I think it is, I will do another episode on catching. See what I'm talking about? They're always together. I will do an episode on the black bullheads, the big black bullheads. But after if we can get another couple smallmouth out of here, which is what I'm hoping, we'll move on to the other map. And you catch them pretty regularly here. Man, I tell you, they are just hot to trot here. Alright, let's go ahead and pull stakes then. Looks like I'm a catfish catching day here, which is fine normally, but I want you to see more of the smallmouth. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to sell the fish I've got. Don't forget to sell any of your fish that you get free fishing here. See, I wasn't too bad. 114, nothing to sneeze at. Yeah, they bring pretty good money, honestly. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and quit out of this one. And we're going to go down to the Great Chinese Garden. Again, free fishing. I think this time we're going to do noon, but we're going to do it in the spring. Alright, now there's an awesome spot here. I don't know if you can see it, but, well, you see those two big lakes. Obviously there's a river to the south. My mouse won't show up when I record this for some reason, but the big lake, obviously you see. And then you have the smaller one to to the east. Well, there's a small river that connects them right in the center. That, my friends, is Smallmouth Central. So what we want to do is head for that. And it opens up right here. And actually anywhere along here is really good. But I'm going to try it right here at the waterfall itself. The reason I had come in here, I was primarily looking for koi. I figured the koi would be here. And I was surprised. Let me throw a little bit of lure down here. Yeah, I think that I don't have as much of that. I'm gonna have to stick with that. I thought I had more of the brown does, but that's all right. There we go. I think we got one too. Ooh, pulled a little too hard that time, didn't I? There we go. Yeah, pretty much anywhere along here you can drill a hole, and if it starts to seem like it's running short or they're not biting as much, just move down a little bit more. And if you can grind this, you might be able to get lucky enough to get a really big one. But most of them seem to run between about a pound, 3 pounds, something like that. They're not monsters. And I've been looking for the largemouth spot. I haven't really found it yet. But I think it's going to be up near the weeds in the bigger lake itself. Ah, God bless it. These guys are everywhere. Yeah, when I told you this was the best map for the black bullheads, I did not lie about that. That's for darn sure. They are pretty much everywhere in the shallow areas. They just are prolific. There we go. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, I am definitely hitting the bullheads today. Alright, let's see if we can't pull up stakes a little bit. I'm going to come over here to the grass. Let's see if we can't get a couple. I think I have another bullhead. No, I don't. Awesome. It's just the way he was fighting. He's fighting much more like a bullhead. Yeah, like I said, anywhere along that little stretch, you're going to pull out a lot of smallmouth bass, a lot of bullhead. Anyway, there you go, guys. Smallmouth after smallmouth. As normal in this game, it's been hard to find them, but they are here. So if you're starting, this is the rod you're initially given. I mean, so you shouldn't have any problem catching these guys. Or these either. Alright guys, that was a lot of fun. But I think before we end this, I am going to, things I wanted to do is check up here at this top lake, just to see if this might be good largemouth bass territory. And honestly, it's not too bad. We've got a little bit of, we still have a lot of rocks, we still have a lot of brush, but this area right here might not be too bad because there's a lot of stick up right here. These little trees, that tends to be stuff that they like to mess around in. So let's go ahead and take a look here. Anyway, certainly isn't going to hurt anything to give it a try. And if we get smallmouth bass, we get smallmouth bass. If we get bullheads, we'll probably get bullheads. But like I said, for all of you like myself who love to catch catfish, these two maps are bullhead central, and you can catch a lot of them. We're just going to see what's lurking over here by these stick-ups. Smallmouth bass. Well, there's another spot for you guys. And I tell you what, let's do this. Now this lure is good for smallmouth, but let's try one that's good for largemouth. I think it's this one here. No, it's crucian carp. Which one is it? Orange affection? No. Thought I had one. There it is. Let's try the wild pink. See if that changes our odds a little bit. Maybe he's just being persnickety with the lure. But we are going to give this a try. I'm usually so focused on catching the really big guys. I think a lot of you guys are doing the same thing. I mean, it's like, because the competitions are limited. Well, the black bullhead goes for it. Of course he would. Throw a little more lure in there. Excuse me, guys. I am fighting a bad cold, and it has been a struggle dealing with it. There you go. Largemouth bass. So we got them both together here, guys. Largemouth and smallmouth. So changing the lure did help. Of course, he's a little bitty largemouth bass. Definitely not a monster, that's for sure. Yeah, I think after this we're going to call it quits, but I think this has been another black bullhead. Alrighty guys, I think that was a lot of fun. Anyway, there's a good location to give it a try. Good location to give it a try. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull stakes. And we're going to head on down and cash these fish in and end this episode. The only thing I have trouble with on this map is it's easy to get yourself a little lost with all these things. It's pretty, you know, a lot of things going on here. It's real busy. But here's the fish market, so we'll end this episode. Well, anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that episode. Please be sure to share, comment, like, and subscribe. And always remember, guys, aim straight, cast far, and have fun. I will see you later. Bye-bye.